Let's start off with hummingbirds now. So we only have one kind of hummingbird here in Illinois. It's called the ruby-throated hummingbird. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year, another species called the rufous hummingbird occurs here in the state of Illinois, somewhere. And there's been 3 records of other hummingbirds, but they've all been only recorded one time. Where do they spend the winter months? Mexico, down into Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica. Sometimes they get as far as Panama, and that is home to them. Up here, they're just visiting. For hummingbirds, home is Central America. They only come up here to nest and breed. They do not nest in their home. They only come up here to actually raise their family. So, if you're going to put your feeder out, we suggest the 15th of April. Most of the birds don't get back to Illinois until about the first 2 weeks of May. I encourage everybody to leave their feeders out until after Thanksgiving, at least one, with a little bit of juice in it. Before they head off across the Gulf of Mexico, they put on a lot of weight, just like you have to fill your car with gas. They put on a lot of fuel. And then they have a very good barometer. They wait for a night where there's a south wind, because there's a headwind, 500 miles or 35 miles an hour, is not a good thing for a little bird flying across the Gulf of Mexico. So it takes them 15 to 20 hours non-stop flying to reach the Gulf shores of Texas and Louisiana. So one of the fun things about these adoption program that we have here is every time I catch a banded bird that was adopted, I send you a letter telling your banded bird has come back again. And this year I've already sent out 51 letters to people whose adopted birds have come back. Last year I sent out 177 letters. Hummingbirds don't live to be very old, really. If a hummingbird reaches the age of 3 to 5, that's normal. I've been catching some the last couple of years that I banded 8 years earlier, and the record for a ruby throat is 9 years and 2 months. Most hummingbirds that hatch this year, about 80 to 90% will not even reach the age of 1. The Gulf of Mexico is a real hazard for them to begin with, but so are television towers, cats, and windows. The primary predators, by the way, of hummingbirds, bullfrogs, and praying mantises. A hummingbird only weighs about as much as a penny, which is 3 grams. Flowers are their preference. Putting food out for the hummingbirds is mostly for our own enjoyment, something that they don't need. And 40% of their diet is insects anyway. That's one reason we ban these birds, to figure out where they spend the winter months. Hummingbirds like to feed, it's a ratio of 1 part sugar to 4 parts water normally. Don't ever buy or use red food coloring. Don't ever. If you're doing it now, pitch it now. And the problem is, it's a physiological problem, and the birds will drink it, so forth, but they don't survive as long. So a 3 to 5 year age ratio will be decreased because of the red food dye.